Day. I've never heard of that.
Well, it's a
There's
national
all-
holiday.
Well, then we can go home,
No,
right?
we still have to do the show. We do have to do the show, but it's National Radio Day.
National Radio Day.
So I think we
Well,
should
it
go
was-
around the room and say, let me ask you the question. When did you first get started in radio?
Oh my goodness, 21 years ago.
With
With
KHTS?
KHTS, yes. I was a guest on one of their shows. And I think we were talking about something that Zonta was doing, my women's service organization. And shortly after that, the boss lady here asked me if I would like to be co-host on a show. And I said, what? I thought, me being on a radio show and actually co-hosting it? And I accepted. And it was interesting because Dr. Jean Dorio was the other co-host.
Okay.
And
Well, they made some smart decisions in their day.
thank you. But I have thoroughly enjoyed it. The only time we haven't done it was when we were going through the pandemic. And I think we only did it 2 or 3 times or just a few times throughout that time.
All right.
But I've loved every minute of it. Every minute of it.
21 years, a real blessing to KHTS. That's great.
Oh, thank you. Oh,
Very good.
Yes, I have loved it. I really have.
All right.
And we've had so many co-hosts. Dr. Dorio, Jean Dorio, you, and we've had, Cordon Ellis, and, of course, Carl Goldman, and who else? There have been several other co-hosts throughout the years that have come in on a part-time basis when
All right.
somebody couldn't.
Right. Well, a lot to live up to.
Oh, yes.
Very good.
But I love it. I absolutely love it.
Oh, that's great. Great. And producer Mike,
Yes?
what's your radio story?
I started here as a there we go. Like 2007, I think it was, and took a brief break and came back, and everything was automated.
Well, weren't you at Canyon Country?
On the old Camp Plenty Studios, yes.
Yeah, you were.
Back in the day.
Wow.
Yeah.
Isn't that a long time ago?
That was, almost 20 years ago.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you've been on this off and on for 21 years also.
I have, supporting all the way.
All
Yes.
right. Wonderful.
It's a very special place here.
Oh, it is.
Very special resource to the community.
Yes, absolutely. And great owners.
Yes. Absolutely.
And Wednesday it's always been the day for the show too, right?
I think
It's
so.
always on
Yeah, I
Wednesdays,
think
yeah.
it's
Okay.
always been on a Wednesday. You're right.
All right.
I believe so.
I wonder how many shows that is. We should calculate that.
Well, you can do that.
Okay.
If you're a mathematician, I'm not.
There you And Barbara, I had my first introduction to radio as a special story because Cousin Brucey, who's world famous out of the New York, New Jersey area, did radio. He was the main person in that area. His name is Cousin Brucey. I was doing a fundraiser for people with disabilities, and I was 18 years old. And I got a hold of Cousin Brucey, and I said, can I promote my big event? We were doing this fundraiser for people with disabilities. And he says, Kevin, come into my studio, young man, and let's do radio together. And Cousin Brucey took me in there, taught me all about radio while I was with him, promoted my fundraiser that I was doing throughout the whole New York, New Jersey area. And he was just fantastic. So wherever Cousin Brucey is in the world, he introduced me to radio at a young age and just showed me what it was and how valuable it was.
Wow, he's probably in heaven now, isn't he?
I don't know. We'll have to find out. But he's famous back there. And then when I came to Santa Clarita, they asked me to come and help out with the Senior Hour show. So happy to be here with you as your guest and co-host today.
Yes, and how many years have you been with the Senior Center?
9 years now, just over 9 years.
Has it been 9 years?
It's been 9 fun years, Barbara.
Whoa! Where does the time go? It literally disappears.
Yes, it has.
Oh, 9 years. Good heavens. Well, my deceased husband, Russ, was one of the founders of the
Yes.
Senior Center. He and I worked together. And, oh my goodness, and Stan Sirad and, what's her name, who we honored? I can't think of her name. We just honored her. Woman of the Year.
Oh, Jackie Hartman?
Jackie Hartman,
Yes.
yes.
Yes, lots of people come through our doors, and actually, we're celebrating starting in September. We're celebrating our 50th year as a senior center for the Santa Clarita Valley. So we'll be doing some stories from you and some from the others that helped get it going back in the day,
Oh, my
and giving a full
goodness.
history of the senior center for 50 years of service to this community as a nonprofit organization. So we're looking forward to a year of fun and good stories about how it was all built.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. My goodness. I remember that at the old
Right.
senior center, which I think is a veterans place now.
Yeah, they're
isn't
working
it?
on it now to repurpose it, and I think they're very close to repurposing it. So we'll hear news about that soon.
Gosh. Now, that place is old. Oh, my goodness.
I'm sure they'll do some fixing up, but
Oh.
but the
Well,
new one
they-
is hopping though, Barbara.
Oh, the new one is absolutely beautiful. So tell us what goes on there.
What goes on there? Well, we just finished, our year ends June 30, so we just wrapped up a year, and it's one of the best years we've had at that senior center. We were named, kind of a recap of the year, as we call it. We were named Nonprofit of the Year by the Assembly District, so we're thrilled with that. We had so many things going on. Jackie Hartman, again, was our Woman of the Year. We honored her just this
Yes,
past week. And
absolutely.
the Man and Woman of the Year committee gave us a nice check donation.
Yes,
to the
I
senior
was
center.
there.
Yes, you were
Yes,
there.
I was
we
there.
brought up some of the winners
Yes.
from the past, and they were here.
Well, I was 1983 Woman of the Year.
1983. All right. I'm not
Yes.
sure where I was in 83, but
This-
probably in trouble.
I think there's only one other Woman of the Year alive
Okay.
up here who lives up here. I don't know about anybody else who's moved away, but Betty Oldfield.
Okay.
She's still alive. I don't think she's doing very well health-wise,
Okay.
but
But no, lots of great history there, and lots of great men and women who have come
yes.
through the Man and Woman of the Year process. That's wonderful.
oh yes,
So we also launched our new website this year, scvseniorcenter.org. So we
Yes.
upgraded the old one. We put the regular name in there, scvseniorcenter.org, with all the information you need, all the classes, all the events, anything you need to go. That's the website to go to. And the seniors, when we introduce a new website, we want to make sure they can navigate it easily. And we're getting some good reviews that it's easy to move around in it and to register for classes. And if you can't register for classes online, or if you have trouble, you can just come in and visit us any day to do that.
well, you know, when you drive into that parking area, there are so many cars there, and they are employees and visitors,
Employees
people
and visitors and guests.
going to classes there.
Yes, we filled it up the other day. We were all over the streets, which is a good thing because people need meals, they need nutrition, they need exercise and recreation, and they
That's
need
right.
fellowship with each other.
That's right.
And that's what this wonderful senior center has offered to them. And we'll move some cars around to make more room for everybody. But it was a busy week this week. On Monday, we had something called the Beauty Bus come in. And we were overflowing because the Beauty Bus is a nonprofit organization, a wonderful organization. They're nationwide. And they bring beauticians to the senior center on a given Monday. And they do hair, and they do nails, and they do facials, and they do everything you do with your hands and feet and everything else. And these beauticians donate their time to come. And they worked on 120 seniors on Monday to make them more
Wow.
beautiful. Not that they're not beautiful to start out with. but
Wow, that's incredible. 120.
120 through this thing we call the Beauty Bus. And people love to be pampered, as you know.
Oh,
And they
yes.
kept coming up to me afterwards and saying, "Do you see my nails? Do you see how beautiful I look?" I said, "Yes, you are beautiful." But it's a nice another service that we offer. We offer that quarterly. So they're going to come back in December, right before Christmas, so people can get all freshied up before the holidays.
Oh, wow, that sounds great. Wow.
So that's why we're busy this week. So. Also this year, we transitioned from the old drive-through method of picking up meals. We stopped that last June, and this year we started the pickup window. And the pickup window has become quite popular for us. So we prefer people to dine in. You know, we have the great grand ballroom,
Oh,
which you
my
were sitting
goodness,
in this
that
week.
place is fantastic. It
With the
really is.
vaulted ceilings and the music playing and everything else, and the fellowship. And we're averaging about 380 to 400 people every day come in there, and we give a very liberal lunch hour. The lunch hour is 10:30 to 1.
Yeah, and there's very few empty tables there.
Right.
Very few. Because every once in a while, when I come to that grief group on Tuesdays, we have to look like crazy to find an empty table.
Well, that's good.
Oh, it's wonderful. And the food is delicious.
Yeah, we have our Chef Marco, Chef Cindy, Chef Frank. We have some wonderful staff creating those meals every day. And we're one of the few senior centers in the county that make it from scratch. So our food comes in and we're cooking everything you see. And someone says, well, when do they start on the next day? They said, as soon as lunch is over on Tuesday, they're starting on Wednesdays right away because they have to prep all the meals because we're doing about 1,600 meals a day just for Santa Clarita.
That is incredible. Absolutely incredible. I mean, how many places, restaurants, any kind of place, would serve that many meals?
Mm-hmm. Well, we're fortunate. We're fortunate we have the funding so far this year,
Yes.
From the federal government, from the state, from the county. So we're trying to piece it all together to make it happen for our seniors.
And do we have funding from the city also?
Yes, city has been very generous to us
yes.
over the years. City's just been a great support for the senior center. So we're really, really...
Well, we have some seniors who are on the city council and involved in the
Yes, and
city of Santa Clarita.
And they're very involved with us.
Yes,
So.
yes.
Also this year we started fees for classes for the first time. So to go to a class, it's $3, as minimal as we could.
$3.
But that was a bit of a trauma to begin with.
Good heavens.
And there's a scholarship, but people could not afford it, and we did offer scholarships. No one took advantage of it. So we also want to pay our instructors well. We have professional instructors teaching a lot of our classes, and we need to take care of them. So they're fantastic. So you're not just getting anyone instructing a class, you're getting some professionals.
Oh, wow. That's amazing.
And a few other things happened. We helped out with the fires over the last year. I hope for no
Yes.
more this year, but we helped out with the fire victims up in Castaic during those fires. We helped with the evacuation there. We also help when when they gather at COC or whether the evacuation points, we help out with food there. So we work in cooperation with the Salvation Army and the American Red Cross. So they call in the Senior Center because we know we'll have our kitchen ready to go.
Oh, yes.
And support them. So just a lot of good things happening from last year, and we're getting ready for this year right now.
Isn't this incredible news? I mean, most of Santa Clarita don't know all this. You know, they really don't. And unless you're a senior who needs services, you don't know what it's all about.
Right. And I think that's one of the messages we have to share with all of our audiences today, right? Anyone you know that needs assistance, if you're out there listening to us today, is to have them contact the Senior Center. Because we said that just the other day to about 400 people said, you're the eyes and ears out in the community for us. You need to make sure the seniors in your community, your neighbors, are well taken care of. And if they need anything, call the Senior Center, and then we can direct them to the right supports and services. We have a handy worker program this past year, fixed up 80 homes. So 80 homes for seniors and low income.
So what does that mean, fix the homes? Do you mean go in and clean?
No, not
or
going in clean.
paint?
They're fixing their stairs. They're fixing some faucets. They're fixing some flooring. We had someone that could see the dirt from their living room, and we had to install new flooring for them and make it real safe in there to avoid animals getting in and everything else. But sometimes people have those issues, and if they call the Senior Center, it's a tough process because it's federal funds to get to it. But we helped 80 families, and 98% of those families were single female households that we were able to help out. So we're just thrilled to be able to do that.
And they were seniors.
Yes, my seniors are low income. And our funding comes from the federal government, but it stops in with the city, and the city administers this program called the Handy Worker Program. We've been doing it for many, many years. And it touches one family at a time. We got the best handy workers in the world. Francis has been with us for 28 years. Nikki runs the department, and they're just helping out, one family at a time. They already have 40 jobs in process for this just in the last 2 months. So they are moving.
Wow, that is amazing. Amazing.
Some things you don't know about what the Senior Center has to offer.
Besides food.
Besides food,
Besides
right.
food.
We're much more than a meal. We're
Oh,
much more
yes,
than a meal. There's
yes.
many things that go on between those walls.
So what other classes do you have there?
Well, we have 30 different classes. We started 8 new classes this year, so we're going to keep adding on. We're starting a new Spanish class this year. California Highway Patrol is coming in, and we're going to book them several times for driving for seniors. It might help with your insurance. We're not sure about that point, but the CHP is involved with us now, and they're going to be providing that. So, and then we have some fun things. They have karaoke we haven't had before, and that's a popular class. So this Friday is karaoke day, and they'll fill up, and people sing their hearts out.
And you have yoga.
And we have the yoga.
Yoga
And we have
and-
sit and be fit.
Yes.
And we have the Zumba classes. and just so many more. And there's plenty of room because we have overflow rooms and everything.
You have painting classes?
Yes, we have 3 different painting classes. Yes. Teresa's our expert painter, and she works with all of our folks on painting. And it's really interesting to go into her class. And they're so sophisticated with this. We have the beginner's class, of course, but they really get into fine painting. It's really professionally done.
That's amazing.
So if you had a love of painting or a love of art when you were growing up, you can stop by our place. And then we wrap off the week with the needle crafters, and that's a fun crowd to walk into. There's so much joy in the needle crafters, and they welcome new people to show them how to needle craft, and what they make, they give back. They give it to different hospitals, different nonprofits that they support with some of their needle craft.
Now, what is that? What is needlecraft?
Needlecraft is part of your sewing and your needlecraft and making hats and making sweaters and everything else.
Oh, now
and crochet.
Do you have sewing machines?
We don't have sewing machines, but we more have the crocheting going on there.
Okay.
So, anyway, it's a fun group to join in with, and a lot of socialization going. They are laughing all morning long on Fridays.
Yes, when I was walking through, trying to get to your office,
right?
Every room had about 10 to 15 people in it doing something.
And
yes.
that's what we do. That's what happens in the magic of Bella Vita.
You have pool tables. Mm-hmm. You have the shuffle. What is it called? Where you throw something down on the floor to try to get it into something else.
I'm not sure what that is, Barbara. But we have the billiards. We have a full weight room, which is nice. We have a dance studio. Mm-hmm. We have the pickleball courts, at least one court, which is very, very active right now. So lots of different activities. So I ran into 2 people this week, and both said to me, I said, "Are you new here?" And 2 gentlemen, they said, "Yeah." I said, "Why didn't you come earlier? You've been in town for a long time." And they said, "We thought it was just a regular senior center. We didn't know what it was like, and we were afraid to come in." And then we realized it is much more than that. It is more like a country club for seniors than a senior center.
It is.
And that's why we call it Bella Vita, because of all the things that Bella Vita means beautiful life, and our job is to give our seniors in Santa Clarita Valley a beautiful life. And
absolutely, and it is a beautiful senior center. Absolutely gorgeous, up on top of a hill.
Yep.
And you can see all over the place.
You can see Golden Valley from there.
Oh, you can.
And we are supported. We are supported. Just so you know, we support 120 staff. Do their job every day. Give their heart and soul to seniors in this valley and the Antelope Valley. And we have 220 volunteers that come in every single month to do the same thing, to give back. It gives them a purpose in their life, but they want to make sure seniors have a beautiful life, and that's why we're so fortunate with all we've done and all we're going to do for this next coming year to make things happen.
Isn't it amazing? It absolutely is. And to think it was in this tiny little building on Market Street. That's where it first started.
Yep.
Through the county.
And the county gave us a foundation to move forward, and certainly has, and we're grateful for that.
Yes, Joanne Darcy. Remember her? Antonovich. Oh, my goodness.
All right, and our job is to keep it going in their honor and in their spirit of what they wanted it to become.
Yes.
And that's
a lot of planning, too.
That's so important. Yeah.
It's a lot of planning.
It's a lot of planning, and we're fortunate. So
it really is. Well, I think we need to take a break, don't we? Isn't it about time?
Yeah, sure.
I'm Barbara Cochran with my co-host,
Kevin MacDonald.
On your hometown station, 98.1 FM, AM 1220 KHTS. Welcome back to the Senior Hour. I'm Barbara Cochran with my co-host,
Kevin MacDonald.
On your hometown station, 98.1 FM, AM 1220 KHTS. And our next guest now is Krysteen Styles, who's a coordinator of support services for the Senior Center. It's good to see you. How are you?
Good, thank you.
Good,
How are
good.
you?
Well, tell us a little about what you do at the Senior Center.
Well, can I break in, Barbara?
Yes, you may.
Because Krysteen is one of my staff members, so it's a special guest today, so I'm happy to bring her on. She is one of our aces. She does so much for the senior community, and I wanted to share.
What is one of your aces?
Aces?
What does that mean?
The person I can always count on to solve seniors that are in crisis. Who do we call? We call Krysteen.
Okay.
And she will not give up until that person is satisfied and the issues are resolved. And she'll come into my office at 5:30 at night with another long story saying, Kevin, you won't believe. And she doesn't even ask me for permission anymore. She just goes right and does it. And
barges
said,
in.
by the way, Kevin, this is what I did. Am I right?
Yes.
Yes, that's what happens. And that's when you know you have really good people working for you. And Krysteen is
Absolutely.
one of those, and we want to share some time with her on the radio today.
Terrific. So have at it, kiddo.
So I'm one of the care managers at the senior center, and so a little bit about what I do. I think Kevin kind of really, I mean, we kind of do a little bit of everything from we go into people's homes and, you know, we assess for home delivered meals, and we, if somebody is in need of an appliance or they're in need for some durable medical equipment, I mean, we just really try to connect people to resources, whether that's us as a resource or it's community or it's county. That's what we do.
You say we.
Yes.
Do you have a group working with you?
There are quite a few of us, yes. So
Quite a few.
in our support services department, we have about 30 actually, I think, after doing payroll. I think we have 30 people in our support services department. So it's a group effort.
And they do all kinds of things then.
Yes, we do all kinds of things. So I'm not quite sure how many care managers we have. I know the department, there's 30, but we have everything from care managers to we have, I think there's a total of 4 caregivers for our in-home services. So we provide services and supports for people that are at home and need a little bit of extra care, and maybe they need somebody to help them with groceries, or they need somebody to help them with laundry, and they don't qualify for maybe some government program, and they can't afford private care. So we would be one of those resources that sometimes we go in and we're able to provide that support for folks that are in home.
Wow, that's wonderful. Absolutely wonderful.
It certainly is. And, you know, you say the name care manager, and most of our listening public has no idea what a care manager is. It's such a great name. And I usually call it social workers. But what is that? I mean, and these care managers?
Care managers sound so much better than social workers.
It does? Okay.
Those
You win.
2 words, social workers, I've never liked it.
Okay.
Because it social workers, what does that mean? People playing around with other people in our society, you know?
Okay.
Actually, I'm
Care
going
manager.
to tell you when I was actually looking on Indeed when I actually started with this the senior center. I've been there for almost 4 years, and that was actually care manager was actually the title that when I was kind of going through the posts on Indeed, and I saw that care manager. That's actually what made me want to click on the post
ad. Okay.
and to
Website.
kind of look at it and read, because I was like, that seems very interesting. Yeah.
Care manager.
Yeah.
It is. It's a very interesting title. And you have how many working with you? How many care managers?
There's about 15 care
Yeah,
managers
probably
altogether.
so. Yeah.
And they all do different things. Some of them go to homes.
We all do. We all go into homes. We all do home visits. We all the different programs that we have, everybody is able to work in every single one of those different programs. And pretty much all of our programs are, in-home based. So we have to go out and see the person in their home.
So what kind of education do you have to have in order to be a care manager?
So you at least have to have a bachelor's.
In what?
Well, psychology, social work, your BA in, so it would be like your health and human services.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, wow.
So 15 people, all with their bachelors, many with their masters, are part of the program. So this is a professional group of people.
Yes.
And then, I always say, the care managers, they try to solve the world's problems. Can you give us some, no name dropping here, but what kind of issues are our seniors having out in our communities that you are struggling with and you and your colleagues deal with every day?
I think a lot of people, with inflation and other things that are happening within our society, financial issues, rent, needing rental assistance. It's like sometimes that one little thing will push that person financially over the edge where they can't afford their rent. You know, maybe they get into a fender bender and now they have to pay, you know, for their deductible on their insurance, or they have some type of medical procedure and they need something, and that costs maybe hundreds, maybe thousands of dollars that
Which
their
is
insurances,
not unusual.
yeah,
in the
that their
medical
insurances
profession.
don't cover, and you know, and so it sometimes people are in the situation whether they pay for this or they pay for that, and so sometimes that's where we step in and we're able to take some of that burden off, where we're able to pay for maybe a piece of durable medical equipment or a bill. You know, I'm pretty sure a couple years ago when the gas company had everybody's bill that 1 or 2 months had doubled and tripled, and people weren't able to pay. You know, some people are facing issues of whether or not they can eat or pay their rent. So, and that kind of goes into resources, you know, that there's a lot of food banks and pantries here in Santa Clarita and Antelope Valley where we're, you know, that we have created a list, and that when people, you know, maybe are facing food insecurities besides those that can come in and have, you know, lunch with us, that we provide, you know, those resources so that they can get food and from other local pantries and food banks in the
Now,
area.
do you have availability of picking people up and bringing them to the senior center?
No, we don't have that availability. There's only so many of us, and that's actually more than a full-time job for one
But you can
person.
advise people what opportunities, because
Yes.
Santa Clarita has I think, a ton of different resources for transportation.
Yeah.
But
So
go ahead.
at that point, we would probably refer people to like Dial-A-Ride, Access, you know, some other community resources that would be able to bring them in. But us actually maybe physically going and picking somebody up, we wouldn't be able, you know, we're not able to do that.
Well, I know that the home delivered meals program is very successful. It really is. Because since I don't drive anymore, I have a meal delivered on a Monday and Friday, which is a big help. It really is.
And Barbara, there's a lot that goes behind this. So Krysteen, why don't you share?
Yes.
Some people just think it's a driver delivering the meal there, but there's so much from support service, your department, that goes in before that meal ever gets delivered. Could you explain that?
There is a lot more that goes on behind the scenes I didn't know about, obviously, until I started working for the senior center. But when somebody calls in and we screen them to make sure that they're eligible for our services, it then gets assigned out to a care manager to go to do the initial visit. And that's when we fill out all of the county paperwork, because these are county funded programs, so they're not our forms, as we tell everybody. They're the county forms, because some of the questions get, you know, they get a little personal, and so we go in and we complete the in-home, you know, initial visit, and that's where a lot of times we do find out where people maybe there are some deficit and need and challenges that maybe people are facing. So a lot of times people will come through as needing a meal, but then they'll come out, you know, maybe also needing other things. Like maybe we'll go in, and it doesn't happen a lot, but it happens sometimes where people come in and they need a meal. But a part of our program is you have to have a refrigerator and a microwave in order to have that meal. Well, some people's refrigerator, they don't have one, or they don't have a microwave. Well, and we're not going to not deliver a meal to somebody because they don't have a microwave or a refrigerator. So then we use one of our programs that is able to allow us to tap in to be able to help those folks with getting those things so that they can then get a meal delivered Monday through Friday.
So what attracted you to this type of work?
I've been doing some form of social work, social services, pretty much since I was like 19. So I've been doing this pretty much my whole adult life.
So it's something you really enjoy doing.
Yeah, I like helping people. I think it's sad. You know, it's a very satisfying
Yes.
you feel like you have a purpose.
Yes.
And you feel like you're making the world a little bit of a better place, even if it's just something small. I mean, I know maybe for me, like maybe getting a meal delivered, it might be a small thing, but for somebody else, because I can go out and, I can go over and, go through a drive-through and get food for myself, and I can go to the store, but maybe for somebody who can't and doesn't have that luxury, it's a very big deal. So I think being able to help people and do those things, I think it's really rewarding, especially when some of the challenges are a little bit more complicated.
Yeah.
And realizing that, like, you were able to help people. There have been a lot of situations where I've never had to deal with before until I came to the senior center. So it's been interesting getting to know a little bit more about county services and city services and all of those different things, and making those connections with, our partners that we work with.
Well, I have to say you work for an incredible organization.
I agree.
You really do. My husband and I were one of the founders of it many years ago, with quite a few people around here. And the reason it was started is because my husband was a school principal in Saugus Elementary School, and he used to visit the classrooms and talk with the kids. And they always used to say, my grandma and grandpa don't have any place to go. They don't have anything to do. They're stuck at home. And so after hearing about that, he made some contacts with different people in the community and in the county, and that's how it got started. And boy, was it it was such a success, because so many people needed things and they weren't able to get them. And it was a relief for parents of the grandparents that, they had things taken care of for them. And it's been such a success. I mean, speak.
Yes, it really has. And I think Krysteen represents one of our major departments that is beyond food. And I think you shared it. You need to know everything, because the seniors are going to come up to you with one situation or another situation. And one of Krysteen and her colleagues' job is to know as many resources as we know of in the county, in the city. You guys are constantly coming up to me with different housing issues.
Yes.
What can we do for housing?
Yes.
I cannot afford my rent anymore. And I talk to some people in the community, I don't think they realize how people are so income dependent and such, they have restricted assets and restricted income in the Santa Clarita Valley. And it's like, what can we do? What are the options out there from different utilities and everything else, of what are the savings for there? So I think you and your colleagues have to know a whole lot, because the seniors when they get to you, they're in crisis.
Yes.
Now, do you serve any homeless people? Because we have quite a few homeless people out here, and I think probably quite a few of them are seniors.
Yes, I mean, there have been folks that have come through the senior center that are unhoused. We do have people that we work with that are unhoused. We've found a lot, or not a lot, but we've found some resources that have helped people who are unhoused, whether that be through the VA, maybe the person's a veteran, and, we were able to connect them through, we've made some contacts through the VA and able to help get people connected to resources and services like housing. And then also just through other different county and, county programs for homeless services. And we've had some successes doing that. So it's again, it's not just it's not just one person. There's a whole team, and there's a lot that goes on behind that. And we have, I've worked with a few people where we have used like LA Hop. It's a resource. Anybody can use it. You just go onto their website and anybody can fill it out and try to get the person connected to outreach services. And they've actually helped, at least off the top of my head right now, at least 3 people that I've worked with go from literally living in their vehicle to now they're living in an apartment.
Wow.
So, I
That's
mean,
incredible.
it's, it's 3 people, and I know that there's thousands, of people out there, but I mean,
But
it's,
that 3 fewer people,
yeah,
in,
Yes.
it makes a big difference. It really does, because 3 people can take up a lot of time and energy.
yes.
And needs.
But you're changing one life at a time.
Yes.
Am I right?
Yeah.
You're
Yes.
changing
Yeah.
one. You're
That's
making a
what
whole
it is.
difference in one person's life, which means everything.
And I'm not tooting my own horn or anything, but I've had people, I've had somebody recently tell me that, like, you saved my life. They were living in their car and they didn't know where to go. And then kind of through this process, they're now housed.
I will say this though, Barbara, you're blessed because you've got kids and grandkids and et cetera, et cetera.
Yes.
Many don't,
This is true.
and many that come there, you're like the last stop on the block
Yeah.
for a lot. So
Yeah.
that's very, very important to remember that for sure.
Good. Thank you.
Quickly before we go to the next break,
Yeah.
what are you looking for when you went to hire Krysteen? What qualities were you looking for?
We're looking for someone who cares more than anybody else. We can teach you the skills. We can teach you the resources, but we can't teach you how to care. And every single interview, we're looking for people who genuinely care about others. And once we do that, and we've done that quite often with about 120 of our staff, we know they care, and we can make it happen. So anyway, we need to take a break now. I'm Kevin MacDonald with my co-host, Barbara Cochran, on your hometown station, 98.1 FM, AM 1220, KHTS.
It's like no other station I've ever listened to. It's great.
Your hometown station.
Will you still need me? Will you still feed me when I'm 64?
Welcome back to the Senior Hour. I'm Barbara Cochran with my co-host
Kevin MacDonald.
on your hometown station, 98.1 FM, AM 1220 KHTS. And we're speaking with Krysteen Styles, Coordinator of Support Services at the Santa Clarita Valley Senior Center. And Kevin, you wanted to ask her a question.
Yeah, could you share with our listening audience about the different counseling services we have in your department, support services?
Yeah, so we have I think about 4 different support groups. We have our emotional support group, we have our grief group, and we have a couple of caregiving counseling groups. The caregiving counseling groups are on our Friday, and our emotional and grief groups are on Tuesday. And how to get connected to those, just call the senior center, and whoever answers the phone, just tell them what you're looking for, and they'll transfer you to support services, and then we just kind of take it from there.
Oh, that's wonderful. And what about individual counseling?
Kind of the same thing, just if that's something that you feel that you're needing, you just call, and they'll transfer you to support services. They might ask you a couple questions, and then they'll probably send you to either myself or someone else, and then we'll see what we can do and try to get you connected to those services.
So what kind of education did you have to be where you are now?
I graduated with my BA. Actually, I graduated with it in history, so it has nothing to do whatsoever with, my plan was, I was so desperate to get out of college. I had been a professional student for so long. I just needed to get out. I loved history. I still do. My plan was to be a teacher, but that obviously didn't happen. And a friend of mine had introduced me to job coaching, and for those that maybe do or don't know what that is, it's support for individuals who are developmentally disabled with on-the-job support to help with longevity of employment. And so I started doing that, and then I went from that, and then I went to another organization, and I went into residential, and then I just kind of stayed, and I moved up the ranks there, and then went somewhere else, and then I moved out here, and I wanted to work a little bit closer to home, and so I ended up at the senior center.
All right. And we're glad you did. We are so glad you did.
Yes, it's an incredible place.
As I said at the beginning, one of our aces who we go to problem solve seniors in crisis, and that's what we do in all of our services. Almost all of our services are free. So when we talk about all these things, does it cost a senior? No. Come into our door.
And then you said something about you're beginning to charge
Oh, just for the classes.
$3 for the
Classes,
classes.
yeah.
I'm thinking $3?
Yep.
Oh my goodness!
Hey, Barbara, you've known this better than I, but let's share with our viewing audience. If you need something from us, our phone number is
259.
9444.
9444.
You got it. That's
There we
Senior
go.
Centers. And our brand new website is scvseniorcenter.org.
.org.
Check us out to there. We just finished 60 concerts this past weekend.
Wow.
We've had 60 concerts at the Senior Center.
Wow.
660.
Zero, yes. We've been doing it
Whoa.
since COVID. Next big concert is September 20th. That's the Tokens are coming to town. If you remember the original Tokens, Under the Boardwalk. So they're coming by.
Oh, those.
Yes, those folks. They're coming by and joining us. I just got off the phone before we started the show. It's Senior Resource Day is coming up in September, October. We're going to announce when that is. Senator Valadares is setting up shop on September 3rd in our lobby with her team, Chris Huff and that group. And we're honoring the military veterans, 250 years of the military for this country, and that'll be on October 4th. We're having a grand celebration put together by the veterans and for the veterans. So lots happening. Bella Vita events, if you want to rent our place, we are just about sold out for this year, so come and join us. But let me wrap it up with, you've been listening to the Senior Hour on your hometown station, 98.1 FM, AM 1220 KHTS. We are sponsored by Comfort Keepers In-Home Care and Providence Holy Cross Medical Center. Now go and enhance your quality of life.